I'm going to show you how to make some Shrinky Dink earrings today, and I'm going to show you first how to pull everything up and size everything and make the cut. So this is make the cut, and I'm going to go up here in where it says SVG and click, and I'm going to open my file, and I'm going to open the Skulls cutting file set from Paper Piecing by Nikki, and it's going to open them on my mat, and I'm going to pull the arrow and make them bigger so they're easier to work with. And since they're already highlighted, see the box all the way around them? They're already highlighted, so I'm going to right click and I'm going to go up to Shape Magic and I'm going to come down to Split and I'm going to click that, and it broke them all apart. So now they're easier to work with. I'm going to select the ones that I want to make. I think I'm going to do these two. Oh no, it's hard to decide which ones, but I think I'm going to do those two. Okay, so I'm going to highlight all of these again, and I'm going to right click and hit delete, and then I'll highlight one of these and I'm going to put it on its own layer. I like having them on separate layers. I can cut them separately if I want, and I'm going to move him over here to the top of the mat, and I'm going to change his size to 1.75, and I think that's going to be a good size for earrings. I guess we'll see what happens. I'm going to right click, copy, right click again, paste in place, since you need 2 earrings, or well, most people wear 2 earrings anyway. And then we're going to do the same thing with this skull, and since I'm still on this layer, I am going to change the color to a bright pink color just for fun. Okay. And then now that I'm on his layer, I'm going to right click, Shape Magic, oh I'm sorry, I'm going to copy, right click again, paste in place, and there's the second skull. Now I can change their colors. Let's do them a funny green color. Okay, so they're sized and ready to go. So what I'm going to do is get my Shrinky Dink material on my mat and get my machine set up and get them cut out, and then I'll come back and show you what we're going to do. You may have noticed I forgot one little thing. I forgot to size these guys right here. So I want to make these 175 like the other ones. Why didn't someone tell me that I did that? Anyway, okay, I'm going to cut these out and I'll be right back. Wow, I'm on a roll tonight. Okay, so I totally forgot to mirror one of these, because they're earrings. One of them needs to be mirrored so that they're opposite of each other. So anyway, I need to just switch these, mirror these. So I'm going to highlight one of each earring needs to be mirrored. So I'm going to highlight it, Shape Magic, mirror, and then I'm going to highlight this one, Shape Magic, and mirror. So now when the person wears them, they're both going a different direction, so they're mirrored. Anyway, I'm going to get these cut out and I will be right back. Okay, so I got everything cut out and I already stamped 2 of them, but I'm going to show you how I'm going to stamp these. And let's see, I am using the herringbone stamp, background stamp from the My Creative Time Build a Banner Kit. There's a herringbone stamp in there. I'm using that for this skull, and then I'm going to use the coffee backgrounds. I'm going to use this background stamp. Again, that's My Creative Time for the other one. So I did a test to see if I liked it before I got on camera, because if I hadn't liked it, I would have picked a different stamp, but I liked how they both looked, so I'm going to go with it. Okay, so I'm going to ink up my stamp really well. And then the only thing you need to remember about these Shrinky Dinks is you need to stamp on the side that's roughed up. Press down really good. Alright, and then I'm going to use this stamp for the other one. And I'm going to use this Dewdrop Rosebud ink. And I'm going to ink the stamp up just in the middle because the skull isn't very big, but I'm going to get it nice and inked. And I'm going to press down really good so it gets a good coverage. And that turned out really good. Okay, now I need to punch holes in the top of them. And I'm going to use the 1/4 inch. And I think what I'm going to do is I am just going to put them together and punch them at the same time so that I know that the holes are going to be in the same place. And I'm just going to put it kind of right at the top, right above the center of the eyes. So there's the holes for that, and that's the hole to do the earrings. Okay, so now that they're stamped and ready to go, they have the holes in the top for the little earring things. I'm going to shrink them, and I'm going to show you really quickly how I shrink them. If you've seen this before, you can probably fast forward through this part, but if not, what you're going to do is put your Shrinky Dink in some sort of glass casserole dish or something, and I'm going to use this little tool to control to keep it in the dish, otherwise it'll fly out. I'm going to use my heat embossing tool to shrink it, and I'm going to leave it on until you'll see it's going to shrivel all up and twist and everything, and then it's going to flatten itself back out. And as soon as it flattens itself out, then that means that it's done shrinking. So here we go. What I try to do really quickly before it cools down is to pop it out and then set the dish on top to help flatten it out. Cute! Okay, so I'm going to let's do one of the other ones, this one, so you can see what that one looks like when it shrinks. Oh, that one's really cute too. Oh, these are so cute. Okay, so I'm going to really quickly show you how to put these little earring clasps on, these little earring wire clasps onto the Shrinky Dink earrings that we've made, or the charms that I made. And remember, I punched a hole in the top, so there's a hole there. So all you need to do is, I actually bought these at Walmart, and there's 3 different kinds. And I think this was $2.50, but you can get these at Michael's and Joann's too. But I'm going to take my clasp, or my earring, and I'm going to, and these are the wrong pliers. You need a pair of pliers that have smooth tips. They're going to look like this, but they have actually round, smooth tips. These pliers have teeth to grip, and what happens is when you use these pliers, they can leave little indentations on the earring, which you don't want. So, but I just couldn't find my other ones. I know I have them somewhere, I just don't know where. So you just grab the top of the loop, pull it back. So that it's open enough to get the charm on. Put your charm on. And then close the loop. And that one closed pretty well. Squish it down a little bit more. There you go. Oops. Oh yeah, that worked. Okay. See, so those are real easy. Those are easy to make and really cute. Okay, so I'm going to show you really quick how I finished off the earrings. I put them on this little tag and popped holes in there and strung them through. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to do one really quick and show you how I did it. I used the tag dies from My Creative Time. These are just tags dies. There's two of them. There's the front one that has the stitching on it, and then the back one is like a shadow one, or if you wanted a tag without stitching, you could use it for that. So I cut two of the back, one out of a harder, heavier cardstock, just a plain craft cardstock, one out of a decorative paper, and then I cut one out of this, one of these out of a decorative paper. And I used this paper from my Mind's Eye blush, and this was purchased at Michael's. So let's see. Okay, so I already put the paper on the back of, or on the front of the cardstock, and I just did that so it would be sturdier. And I inked around the edges, and then I inked around the edges of this one. And what I'm going to do next is I created a template for where to put the holes for the earrings. I decided to create a template because if I make any more earrings, then I can use this template and I won't have to refigure it every time. But basically my holes are 1 3/4 inch up, and they're in 5/8 inch. If I use this as a template, I'm going to lay it over the top, get it on there just right, and then I'm going to do the same thing with the shadow. There needs to be a hole in the shadow one as well. Okay, once I get it on there perfectly, then I'm going to take my Crop-A-Dile. Okay, so now my holes are punched, and my next step is I'm going to put a sentiment on the bottom of this front piece, and I'm going to use a sentiment from the My Creative Time stamp set called Small Talk. This is an older stamp set, but I'm going to use the sentiment that says "For You," and I'm going to ink it up really quickly, and I'm just going to stamp it along the bottom of the tag. Okay, so I stamped the bottom of the face tag, and then I put foam core tape on the back of it, attached it to the back piece, so now it has a little bit of thickness. I used this light pink grosgrain ribbon and tied it with some, pulled it through the hole, the top hole, tied it with some black and white twine, and now I'm going to slip my earrings in, and I want them to stay, I don't want them to fall out, so I'm going to take these little clear earring backs and stick these on. And you can also purchase these little clear earring backs at Michael's. I got them at Michael's. And that's just going to keep them from falling out. So here they are all finished. Really cute. They'll make really cute little gifts. And that's it. So thanks so much for watching. If you have any questions, you can leave a comment under this video, or you can leave it on my blog and I'll get back to you.